I mean, I think this one's pretty critical. We've obviously been rolling out DAZN over the last 2 years. Perform's been a digital leader in sport for 10 years, but it's all really now about the success of DAZN.
Right.
We launched it in Asia, we launched it in Europe. It's been, well beyond our wildest dreams in terms of success rates, number of subs coming in. But the US is the biggest market for OTT. There's already 220 million OTT subscriptions in the US, and there's only 110 million households. So sooner or later we had to launch in America. We've been planning this for a while. We want to add a whole load of other sports from around the world and within the US pretty soon, but we wanted to get out there with this announcement today. We needed something that DAZN could be the home of. DAZN is going to be the home of boxing now for many, many years. It's not just about these 16 fights that we're going to stage in the US. We're going to have the 16 fights that Matchroom also already do in the UK. We're going to have a load of other boxing from around the world. So it enables us to get ready, launch DAZN in the US. We'll be the home of boxing, and then gradually we'll add a load of other international sports and US sports as we go. So it's significant because it is DAZN coming to America, and America's the biggest OTT market in the world, and it's time for us to arrive.
How is DAZN going to help sort of lead that change in the US market and sort of disrupt it a little bit?
I mean, I think we've learned a lot from doing it in Europe and Asia. I think if you look forward 3 or 4 years, it's obvious that OTT and streaming is the way sport should be shown. With sport, it's either feast or famine. There's hundreds of matches played at the weekends, and there's not a lot played during the week. So you need a platform that can show everything live, everything on demand, whenever it's shown. So although linear channels, sports channels have played a great role for the last 20 or 30 years, they're clearly not the future. You need more than 2 or 3 channels to be able to show the whole of a league, the whole of a fight night, the whole of a tennis tournament, because you've got multiple courts, multiple games. So streaming's the future. We've just all been waiting for the capacity of broadband and 4G telephony to make it a reality. It's already a reality in music, it's already a reality in TV, and now it's time for it to happen in sport as well.
What exactly about boxing appealed to you for this deal?
I mean, the reason boxing was immediately on our radar in the US is because it brings in large numbers. It brings in a lot of people. There are 10 million boxing fans here in the US who want to watch boxing regularly. 3 million of them have bought pay-per-view in the last couple of years, but 3 million of them don't have cable whatsoever. So we know there are 10 million people out there who regularly want to watch boxing, but the current way boxing's shown on TV, especially in the US, it's very, very expensive. You've got to sign up to cable, $150, $160 a month. Then you've got to pay pay-per-view for a lot of the events. That could cost you up to $100. It's too expensive. We thought we could take this sport, we could stage some really, really big fights, and we can come up with a new model. We don't want you to pay $100 pay-per-view. We want you to sign up to the service and stay with us for a few years, and we'll make the money that way. And in return, you'll get a load of great content every single month, all the way through the year. So it's a better deal for the consumers, for the fans, but it also allows Eddie to plan the situation with the boxers. By committing to it for 8 years, it means that Eddie can actually sign a boxer and say, I've got 8 years worth of money. So if you're going to have an 8-year career, you're going to get 8 years of money if you box on DAZN. So it's also just a good market for us to get into. It's a good place to bring a lot of people onto the platform quite quickly after the launch later this summer.
And what made Matchroom the right fit for this?
I mean, honestly, it's because we looked at the way US boxing works right now, and we just didn't like it. We don't like pay-per-view. We don't like the way a lot of the fights are staged. It needed a fresh approach, and in the same way, we're bringing in a fresh approach with DAZN. We thought it was best to bring, Matchroom to the US. Matchroom have completely transformed boxing in the UK. They're doing massive events almost every single week. They're regularly selling out stadiums. They sell out Wembley, 90,000 seats. Principality Stadium in Wales, 90,000 seats. There's nothing like it in the US. They bring big cards, strong undercards, lots of entertainment, and we just felt that the way it currently works in the US doesn't work. It needs a fresh approach. They've already obviously done a few fights here with Daniel Jacobs, so they'd started up looking at the market. It was just the right time to get together and do it.
So what do you think will be at the heart, of reigniting that passion for boxing in this country?
I mean, the key is it's the 16 nights every single year for 8 years, and it allows a boxing fan to know I can sign up to this service, and every single few weeks I'm going to get a massive show, plus I'm going to get the 16 shows from the UK, and plus I'm going to get a load of other stuff from around the world. So I know I'm going to get good quality entertainment on my service every single month, every single week. So it's the commitment to doing 16 big shows in the US, and that also helps Eddie because he can plan the fighter's career. He can say, oh, I'm going to get you a fight next month, and then there's another date already in the diary for 4 months' time, and then next year we can do this and this. So that's what boxing's been missing. It's kind of gone from event to event, and boxers often haven't had much certainty past 2 or 3 fights in their career. This gives everyone certainty. It means we can book the venues, book the fighters, and guarantee to fans that they're going to get regular, high-quality content.
Where does Perform and DAZN go from here?
The key to Perform and DAZN has just got to go global. We started off in Japan and Germany and Canada. US is a big focus this year. We're going to also launch in another major European market. We're looking at several other markets throughout Asia, Europe, and in the Americas. So it's all about taking DAZN. We've seen enough from what we've already done in Germany and Japan to say this is the future. This is how people want to consume sport in 3-4 years' time. Let's get going, and it's about rolling DAZN out in as many territories as we can.